I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist Jared Piepenburg, and this week's Ag Week weather outlook, our general outlook, we're going to be talking about some ridging aloft and what that'll mean for us here as we're heading into kind of mid-month and where we could see more dry conditions. We'll take a look at that drought monitor as well, how things are shaping up here across the U.S., and talk about rain and storm chances here across parts of the lower 48 and how things will work out here over the next couple of weeks. So right now we have this weekend, this ridge that's been building over central portions of the U.S. here. This is actually going to start to retrograde almost toward the west over the next few days as we continue into the work week. You know, watch this ridge just start to build over the Rockies and impact parts of the northern plains here and the central plains as we continue through mid toward the end of this work week. So you can kind of see how that's building way up into Canada with some dips in the atmosphere down across the very western edge and northwestern edge of the lower 48, along with parts of the Great Lakes region as well. And those dips may end up just being a fraction cooler and maybe seeing a little active weather as well in terms of a little better shot at some precipitation with those dips in the atmosphere. Now, as we head toward the later half of the work week and toward the weekend, notice how this upper level ridge is just dominating most of the western and central portion of the lower 48. And that's going to keep temperatures fairly warm and maybe a little drier for some, although we will likely still see some isolated to scattered thunderstorms here and there across parts of the region. So keep that in mind. So precipitation outlook here as we head throughout the week. Dry conditions are looking likely across the northern states, just kind of bordering with Canada there, along with the northern plains, upper Midwest toward the Great Lakes as well. Chances of wetter weather are going to be down in the southwest, in the southern plains, and across the southeastern seaboard. I'll have a little better shot at that as well. Now, temperature outlook, I'm sure you know that here as we looked at that ridge just a minute ago of how that was starting to build across the west coast. And as that does so, we're going to see above average temperatures most likely across the Rockies and the west coast, down across the southern plains as well. And just ahead of it could stay a little cooler with the wind directions coming off the lakes there. Just may stay a little chillier for some. That could include southeastern parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and some of the states that border the Great Lakes. Drought monitor wise, there's still some dry conditions out there for parts of the northern plains, upper Midwest as well. But the conditions are a little worse are still impacting areas of the south and southwest, which is kind of typical anyway. As we head toward next week, and that ridge is slowly pushing into the central parts of the U.S., precipitation underneath that ridge kind of looks like be impacted more so across the northern plains, upper Midwest, looking at below average precipitation, where another shot at above average will be down in the southern states and across the southeast. Temperature outlook underneath that ridge as we head into next week, again, looking to be very similar with the hot temperatures mainly off toward the west and impacting parts of the Rockies.